What's going on, guys? Welcome to another CNFT Tuesday. We've got a lot of guests prepared for you, so I just want to bring them in right now. But before we get going here, if you're new here, we talk about every Tuesday. We talk about the Cardano ecosystem, CNFTs. We talk about NFTs, flipping them, what's new in the markets, or whatever. Sometimes we branch out into bigger things, but who knows? It's just a winding. I like to bring in some guests, and so we have to bring them on right now. The first person, if you're talking about gems, he's probably holding one. Only takes him one shot like a golden gun. Only the truth, no fiction, bringing it out like an eviction. He finds buyers for his NFTs. Yeah, he's sold him one. The one, the old, only, the crypto warden. Ethan, welcome to the show.
Cowboy Nation, we're back. You guys know, once again, it's another beautiful day outside. It's Tuesday. It's always going to be beautiful. We got widespread elections going on across the United States of America. I hope you guys are exercising your greatest amendment right as a true American. But you guys know, we're back at it again. We're here to talk CNFT Tuesday, baby. Let's go.
It's glad to have you here. Also, be glad to have a whole bunch of other people here. Also, Gamma Lost, J Hub, Green Fingers, Jayden. Good to see you guys. Glad you guys are in the chat here. Of course, you're right, it is election day. There has been a lot of blood in the markets today. Maybe we could talk a little bit about that because it does affect the Cardano ecosystem. What's going on, Mike Thomas? But before we do, we got to bring in our next guest, and we just keep it rolling. This man has tons of ape notoriety. Okay. He's in it for the long haul like sobriety, transparent, no mystery, making CNFT history. He has all the secrets like propriety. He's the one, the only Chronic from Daily Chronicles. Look at this guy. What's going on, brother?
You never end, man. It's never. I can't say on that, bro. How do you do it every time? Something different.
Every time, bro. You know what? In middle school, I wanted to be a rapper. That's what it was.
You could. Aaron, Ethan, pleasure, guys.
It's a pleasure to have you, bro. It's a pleasure to have you. I wanted to get Seron. Hopefully he'll be able to make it. I was like, you got to be on the stream today. I was like, this is the month right now because last month we were talking about this. We'll talk about Ape Society in a second here, but I do want to bring in our next guest here. This man takes big steps you can't measure, gives you the alpha for your pleasure. You remember him like a scar, keeps it tight like a jar. He's got more than a gem. It's a treasure. It's the one, the only, VyFi's very own Steven. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Do you make those up on the spot?
On the spot? No, not on the spot. Probably about 10 minutes before. Probably about 10 minutes
wow,
before.
That's super impressive. Good job.
I want to be a rapper, man. Steven, I don't know if you probably met at CNFT Con. Chronic. This is Chronic. This is Steven. This is Ethan, Crypto Warden right here.
Steven, yes, sir.
And so, yeah, everyone is all heavy into the CNFT space. Guys, we have lots to talk about, but first, big ups to the chat. What's going on, Matt? What's going on, Curly Knox? What's going on, everybody? Mike Thomas, everybody. Rue86. We've got some giveaways here to do. Look, this is a CNFT stream, okay? Granted, but I do have to bring up one thing, and that is the Cardano price, right? It's at 36 cents right now, okay? And this is clearly, I think, so here's today. We're seeing crashes here. I don't know if you can see it right here on my screen. We're seeing crashes here. What do you guys think about the American elections? Steven, I know you're in the Philippines right now, and the rest of us are in America. What do you guys think about the American elections, its effect on the crypto markets, more specifically on Cardano, and then more specifically to the Cardano ecosystem? Do you guys have any thoughts, any reactions for today?
I've got a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I have very small thing. I think it's more to do with the Binance and FTX thing, but Steven can definitely touch on all of that much better than I can.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Look, it's certainly a large part the FTX thing, right? Let's not mistake it. Binance came in and has said that they're buying up FTX, which is fantastic for the community, but they haven't confirmed that it's going to be taking place. They've basically just signed an agreement that basically a letter of intention to say that they're going to purchase FTX and they're going to be covering essentially most of what FTX's problems are.
Yep.
Now, with respect to the elections are still incredibly close. It does say that, most recently the most recent results are saying that it looks like the Republicans are going to be taking the House. Generally, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So if we look at the S&P, at the moment is basically neutral, right? It hasn't really moved today. If we look at the Russell 500, now the Russell 500 is Russell 2000, sorry. The Russell 2000 is the industrial index. That one is just barely down. And then the Dow Jones, that's probably the big one. The Dow Jones is up 1%. So it's basically staying flat, right? So these reactions from the stock market are all pretty flatlining because when you have a split House and Senate, less regulation tends to be put through, right? Things slow down. When things slow down and less regulation tends to be put through, you generally find yourself in a circumstance that more and more businesses are able to do more and more things because they're not being hemmed in by regulation, right? So from a stock market perspective, it hasn't been neither strong nor weak. This is why I personally believe that this is a lot more driven by FTX. And just one last one to pull up, the US yield curve. So if we look at the US yield curve right now on the Treasury notes, I actually haven't looked at it since last night. So let me just confirm. Yeah.
If you want to pull up your screen too, you could share your screen here.
Absolutely. One moment. Let me just pull up the right I'll look you guys for a moment.
While you're pulling that up, I'd like to just clarify some things for everybody. FTX, if you guys don't know, I think it's the United States' biggest and largest centralized exchange. Now, for those of us who are new, there's two different types of exchanges. There's a decentralized exchange and a centralized exchange. A centralized exchange is a business. It's owned by a company, corporation, all that kind of stuff. And a decentralized exchange is more like a protocol. It's just like a bunch of systems and codes, and that's how you flip it over. Now, okay, I got your screen here. Now, what happened with FTX is that it's basically a bank run. It's basically they ran out of money and people are trying to withdraw their funds and they can't, or they froze their assets, or they don't have enough money to pay it out. Why? Because FTX and all these other centralized exchanges are playing touch butt with people's money. They're gambling with people's money in the crypto markets. Well, when everything goes down, they lose everyone's money. Everyone's trying to withdraw their funds. They can't do it. So that causes the problem. FTX does not have enough money for what it owes to its users. So that's when Binance is coming in and say they're going to acquire it, letter of intent, and they are saying that we will do our due diligence, we'll do our DD and acquire this thing, and that's what is tanking the market because everyone looked at SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, owner of FTX, as like the white knight of crypto. Okay, I've seen that title toted around. Now, this is pertinent to the Cardano ecosystem because, like Steven pointed out, that I didn't even think about this, the S&P 500, all these other stock markets are flatlined. However, the crypto market is in a tailspin. And so, I think that you pointed out something very, very critical there. Now, I'm going to bring up your screen here. Looks like you have us on your screen.
Yeah, sorry. Let me go back to where I was. So if we're going to have a look at the US yield curve, right? So this was the US yield curve 1 month ago. Now this is before
for those of us here, what is the US yield curve? What does that even mean?
Okay, so the US yield curve is looking at the current interest rate on bonds over an X period of time into the future. And it basically lays it out as a chart. So this is saying that 1 month bonds 1 month ago were paying 3.73%. 3 month bonds were paying 4.22%. 6 month bonds were paying 4.57%. 1 year bonds were paying 4.66%. 2 year bonds, 4.51, so on and so forth. So essentially you get this curve shape as the market is predicting out into the future what the interest rate will be for bonds. Now, this is the principal method that's used I was a yield curve trader, so this is definitely the way in which I think. But this is the principal method that's used for a lot of businesses when they're trying to plan out whether they're going to engage with the bond market to engage with US debt, right? Particularly in terms of the financial industry, interest rate swaps, you'd be looking at swapping yield curves of different countries. Also, the other thing I should note is that the only bond that's controlled by the US Fed, so when you hear the Fed rate, what the Fed just put up by 75 basis points, right? That is actually the intraday exchange rate. That's the overnight rate for a bank to borrow money directly from the Fed to cover liquidity gaps, right? That means amounts of money that they need to cover in the next 24 hours, right? Every bond after the intraday rate is actually set by the market itself. It's not set by the Fed, right? So when banks are trading money between banks, they're not following that intraday rate set by the Fed. They're following the US Treasury rate or the US yield curve rate for the period of time that they're looking to borrow that money for. And then it trickles down, and then homeowners get absolutely screwed, basically.
Got it.
Now, if we look at the yield curve 1 month ago, this is what it was looking like. We had this rate of 3.73, and then we've had 4.22. But if we look at it today, I just should have skipped it forwards one. Come on, mate. You got this. Not doing very well. Today's date. There we are. We can see that it has flattened, right? The 2.57 is still the same, but now this is 3.08. We've actually come below 4 in 1 year's time, 3.56. Whereas if we look at just yesterday, you guys do this in reverse, don't you? So I'm going to, yeah, I just went into September. I apologize, guys. You guys do your months backwards to how we do our months. If we go back to yesterday, 3.33, and then move on to today. Oh my God, why do I suck so badly? I'm back in October. 3.33 for yesterday, and then 3.67 for today. So basically we've seen our interest rate expectation go from this to this overnight, right? We've basically said in the next year, because of what is happening with the elections, our interest rate expectation has increased by 0.3%, which is 30 basis points. So that means that these elections, you can turn that off now. These elections have increased interest rate expectations of the market. The higher the interest rate, the less liquidity there is in the market, which makes it more difficult for people to access loans and liquidity and all that jam that comes along with higher interest rates, right? So I do expect to see an impact in the stock market over the next few weeks, particularly if this interest rate expectation maintains, right? And I was expecting this increased interest rate expectation if the Republicans won. But the crypto market not only has been hammered by an increased interest rate expectation, but this FTX thing compounding created essentially a moment of panic, right? We've had interest rate expectation increase. We've had the market itself, the FTX market, look like it's going to collapse. By the way, FTX is currently down negative 135 Bitcoin, I believe it was last I checked, in terms of their payouts of what they need to cover. So essentially, we need to cover these gaps before the crypto market can recover, right?
So let me ask you a question then, and this is probably for all of you guys. Are you guys buying? Is this a time to buy? Is this a time to hodl, to sell? What are you guys doing in this market, especially with ADA? I mean, we're looking at the ADA chart right now, and it is certainly, it's not at its lowest. I like to look at the three months, but yeah, you could see it even in the 1 month, it's been at like 33 cents. We're right now at 37, I believe. What do you guys think? What's the move in this type of market, especially today?
I'm not buying. I think if I'm gonna wait and see what Bitcoin does, right? I mean, it kind of bounced off of 17.5 or something. I'm not like the TA guy or anything like that, but I am interested in ADA price. If Bitcoin crashes more, right, below 16 or whatever, 17, you know, I don't know the support. You know, we see ADA going down, and I have a decent amount of ADA from the King sale, so I'm definitely, you know, interested in going to stable or, you know, USD straight up, or I still haven't converted. So it's been a crazy day for me, but I'm used to it as crypto. But I'm not buying yet. I mean, I will start DCAing when I believe the bottom's going to be near, which I don't think this is the bottom just yet.
Do you have an idea when the bottom is for a special
No, I mean,
frame?
Bitcoin, if this is the bottom, I mean, I'll take the, I'll miss it because I got enough ADA. But like, I'm not going to start buying now. I don't have the funds. But once I sell my home, which I'm about to put on the market, which interest rates do affect me, being 8% right now, I still think I'm going to sell in the area I am. But yeah, I definitely will be looking really, really hard in that, DCA and whether it be here all the way down to mid-teens if need be.
I like what you said there. You're not gonna basically chase it. So it's one of those things. Like you missed it, it's fine. There's gonna be another one.
I've been in the last bear market, so I bought in at 8 at 9 cents, and I've wrote it down to 2 cents. I didn't have funds to buy it then, so I wrote it all the way up to 3, whatever it was, and I wrote it down, never really trying to sell for any profit. So I'm in it. My gut's solid, bro. I'm good. I will try to accumulate a lot more if, in fact, if the market goes up from now, I win. If it goes down, I'll be ready with cash. So
yeah, bro. Oh man, you should have gone at stable, man. But no one can know. No one can know. Warden.
It's still the same, bro. I sold the king. Excuse me. I sold the king at 37 cents. You feel me? So like, we're there. I literally sold the king at the same price. Like I could have sold at 44, but I was waiting for it to touch the 20-day to see. It's like I think it's around 44, 45 ish. And then if it busted over, I was gonna try to ladder some out around 50 cents or so. I watch Dan stuff, and that's what I've been watching for a while. I'm not the best TA dude. I have dabbled for a while in the markets. And again, I know what I'm kind of looking at. And it's still right around the 38 cents, stuff where we're at. I'm solid. If it busts below 33, I still get nervous.
Yeah, got it. All right, Warden, what do you think? Well, did you buy in today? Are you buying ADA? Are you buying NFTs? What's going on with you?
Well, right now I'm just really buying a lot of coins. So, for example, I know we were talking a little bit about it earlier today. I bought about $300 worth of ADA, and then I bought $300 worth of HBAR. And so, just at this moment, ADA and like Ethereum and Bitcoin, for example, I'm really DCAing with, just because I've seen this drop from, especially since when I first got in. But like for HBAR and VeChain, I mean, they're not really going to drop too much more personally, at least in my opinion. So, I mean, I'm comfortable just putting money into those two, but just with the bigger ones, I'm definitely DCAing.
Got it. We're getting some people from the chat here, and I'm going to take it over to Steven. We'll take a look at another video for FTX. Bitcoin, what's the predictions? I think Chronic said he's looking at a 17,000 as the bottom. I'm not sure if I heard that right.
I don't know the bottom. I've heard today as low as 13, 14. I've heard as low as 9. And I've heard ADA as low as 8 cents. So it's like, I don't want to hear anything. I'm ready for them all is the point. I'm not going to get scared. I'm interested in you smart individuals. And
stomach of steel.
You guys.
G3 is thinking 12K Bitcoin. Steven, what do you think?
I agree with what Chronic's saying. I don't really know. At the moment, we're actually still trading inside the exact same range we were trading in before. So that's between the 18 and 22. Right. And this range here has been pretty strong now for 3 months.
We did wick temporarily into 17s. We did wick.
Yep. We had a fade, and fades take place where you drop down and then you come back into range. Right. I think it's very possible that we do go down to the next range below us, which would take us down to about 12. But I don't know what's going to happen. Right. I honestly don't. If FTX sorts itself out and we're able to see, I can see circumstances where we go up. I can see circumstances where we go down, particularly since the US Fed is going to be tapering their interest rates now, right?
If you were to say which one is more likely, more probable, would the markets go up or down? And I'm not even saying ADA, I'm just saying crypto markets, because it all works in tandem here. It's all just paired with the Bitcoin here. So would you think is more up or more down more probable?
At the moment, the risk is on the upside. So that means it's probably more likely to be going down than up. But that being said, exactly as Chronic said, which is, probably the most mature and important thing that anyone can do, you need to be prepared for each of these scenarios.
Yeah.
Right. So you need to have a plan for how you're going to act with each of these scenarios when they take place. And as long as you're ready, you don't be worried. It's a market. You do what the market tells you to do.
Yeah. To me, I buy in. I always buy in about 50, 60, 70%. And I save dry powder on the side whenever something, if it goes down further, I'm ready to buy in even a little more. That's just personal philosophy there. Okay. So ADA's at 36, 37 cents. How I see the CNFT space really actually taking a little bit of a cool down right now compared to October. What do you guys' reactions on the CNFT space in general? Personally, I'm seeing it as cooling off. I'm seeing apes down a little bit under 9,000, but compared to what it was at like 17,000 just a month and a half ago, it's like, it's negligible in my opinion. Is there less excitement? Is there more influencers? What do you think is happening in the CNFT market, in the CNFT space right now?
I think everything's, I think it's just fear in the market, right? I think the CNFT space is still popping. I mean, right now they got 2, 3, 4 spaces right now. We just had a space just now with 1,200 people. But now they got 2, 3 spaces. You know what I mean? It's definitely, we're looking for projects, and it's just not a lot of excitement with the existing projects. But again, we need just people. We need Steven to get in there. I need to get you in there. From last time, we hooked up on the show. But just in spaces to educate on VyFi and these projects, the DeFi scene that's going to come next. I think it's people are yearning for the next thing, right? So they have a few like Alley Cats and a couple other mints that are upcoming that are get some hype. But right now, man, it's just a lot of fear in the market, in my opinion. But the CNFT market's kind of the top 10 looking pretty steady. Within a couple hundred, they might have dropped a few percent, bro. It's nothing big.
Yeah, no big deal.
I mean, Ape Society, that was going to correct, dude. That went from 7,500 to 15,000 in a day.
For sure.
2 days. I mean, we're above that price anyway. So, and that was like 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3 weeks ago or something, if I'm not mistaken. But you know what I mean? So it's like, it's very thin floor, and it's someone gets an itchy finger and they come by it. But yeah. I'm not really worried about that. I'm just hanging on my NFTs. I'm in a good position. I
definitely think we also need to look at it with respect to the prices in September and August. Like, we've actually still seen overall growth in the crypto market, particularly in trading volume. The NFT market. What's really interesting as well is that we are one of the few NFT markets in all of crypto that have actually been maintaining high liquidity compared to previous, right?
Yeah.
The net liquidity is still larger in Ethereum, but whilst the net liquidity is still larger in Ethereum, it hasn't been, its percentage drop from its peak at the moment is a lot larger than what it was in Cardano. We've seen this interesting situation whereby as Cardano's dropping in price, users shift towards the NFT side. So I think that with this most recent drop is very possibly, if that pattern is true, and we're going to find out now, it's very possibly because Cardano did a pushback up to 43, 44 cents. And if we did a pushback up to 43, 44 cents, we slowed down on the NFT side. But now if we drop back to 36 cents, we could be speeding back up on the NFT side. I'm actually really interested to see what happens here.
Yeah, I think it's a psychological thing. I think people get bored. I think people got bored of the DeFi, of coins, and they wanted to enter into something fun, something novel. And I think NFTs are just that, right? It's something. That's why I got into it. That's why I'm still in it. I just think it's fun and novel. I do hold most of my, like 95% of my bags, my portfolio is in coins. But the 5%, I'm like messing around with NFTs and stuff like that. And I'm looking into different chains as well. So I know Ethan said that he was buying into other coins and stuff like that. So are you guys buying any projects right now? I know you said there's a mint. I actually know there was a recent rug too. Maybe do you guys know anything about that one? That like something rugged? Apparently, I don't even know.
I think you're mentioning about the Clay Cats Society or whatever it was.
I guess, yeah.
So I mean, that was pretty interesting. There was kind of a lot of tells. I personally didn't buy any of it. There was just a lot of tells overall just going throughout the community. Like I know Bourbon spoke on it a little bit, where it was just like you knew they were going to be a rug. They weren't really putting too much effort in, and I mean they didn't even get as far as their reveal. I think if you look up Clay Cats, it'll probably say rug pull now, and I mean they're all just question marks on them still with no reveal.
Yeah.
Was that bread? Milk as well.
Milk's another one. I mean, it's kind of funny because we had I Esco on the channel last week, and he was talking about milk a little bit too. So supposedly the creator's on vacation, but I mean, in all honesty, that really just translates to I'm taking your money. Screw all you guys. So.
The creator's on vacation. Okay. Yeah,
I flipped a couple of milks in the last 2 weeks. So
Oh yeah?
Yeah, some people were putting them up for like 300. Excuse me. So the second I saw that, I was just like, I'm jumping in. Bugger it, they're 300, and I was able to flip them, no worries.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Good deal. You buy anything? It seems like you're waiting and you're a buzzard on a wire, Chronic. It seems like you're being patient right now.
Yeah, I mean, I minted a couple little trogs to support the homie. But no, I'm just hanging, waiting on like the Alley Cats got whitelist and the Keyboard Warriors. That's at the end of the month. I don't know if Tommy talked about that.
What's Alley Cats?
Alley Cats is like it looks like Cats on Crack from Solana and like Gutter Cat, but it's two guys. We had them on NFA Space a couple days ago. Goose had it recorded, and they had everything. And I think it's going to be pretty hype little mint. I believe it's only going to be like one per whitelist. It's going to be pretty hard to get. We gave a couple giveaways already for one, but yeah, I mean, trying to be patient, man. Just kind of soaking it up, trying to go cross chain. Just it's like you said, it's kind of moving slow. I'm just kind of dabbling, man. I'm not going hard on anything, at the moment, because there's a lot of uncertainty with everything in the markets, and some of these projects are popping up last minute. You don't know what to do, so I'm definitely not going all in on them. If you don't, hear from them we're in the space a lot. If we don't hear from them like a week before a mint, I mean, it's kind of it's not always a red flag because I can't be everywhere, but it's kind of like, why aren't you around, sort of thing, And
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, I bought a Clay Cat Society for 80, like right before the reveal was supposed to happen. The guy was supposed to come into space. The mod was in there, like going for him, this, that, and the other. And I bought one, but again, I made a lot of money on Book of Ikigai. Not a lot, but I got flipped mine. So it's just like you win some, you lose some. That was like I didn't mint it, but like I bought off the secondary, and you lose and you win. These unrevealed ones you got to really be careful, right? Because you don't know if they're gonna win or lose. Like that's the kind of the thing. You buy in the hype, so you should be selling the hype. And look at that. I mean, I made 3x on that, where it's already 70% down. It's crazy. So it's just like.
Did you say this was a rug or no?
No. I made money on this. It's just I minted this. Me and Chrissy had to mint 5, and the mint was 85. And I kept flipping them. And now look, it just shows how the cannibalism in the CNFT space. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's trying to flip now. So it's a dog-eat-dog world right now. You got to really, give the community some value right off the bat. It's kind of instant gratification, right?
I think this looks familiar. I think I might have seen this in CNFT Con. I'm not sure if they were there or not. But
it's Maria and Pepper's project, and she was there at CNFT Con. But that was one. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you got these projects that are popping up, and these projects that have been here. Sometimes the results can be the same. They can be busting butt, and the community just doesn't, respect the value of it, and the floor reflects that, or something. It's not really fair, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah, you're also dealing with headwinds here. I mean, like you're dealing with a bigger economic situation here than just it's not just a bull run; it's a panic right now. So I don't think anyone's really trying to launch any NFTs or anything like that. Steven, you buying anything right now?
I bought Noom a few weeks back. That one's done me all right. That's a token though, not an NFT.
Okay.
What NFTs have I bought most recently? No, I've sold a couple of NFTs recently, but I actually haven't bought any new ones in the last 2 weeks, really. I'm a bit anxious, given, as you said, it's a bit of a panic right now, right? And at the moment, I'm trying to consolidate liquidity, not spend it. And I think that's something that you'll see repeated quite heavily across the market.
Could you clarify that for me? Well, what do you mean by consolidate and not spend?
Well, at the moment, I'm trying to get stuff back into Cardano so that I can move from Cardano to stable or dollar should the need arise, whereas NFT is less liquid than Cardano. I can't just move that back to dollar in a pop, right?
Yeah.
So basically, based on just like what Chronic was saying, it's about setting yourself up for the different circumstances. Based on the circumstances as I see them possibly developing, right now is a time to be consolidating liquidity, and to be preparing yourself for a possible further move and build the capacity to react based on market conditions. And I don't mean that rudely. You know, there are a lot of great crypto projects. NFT projects. I met so many of them at CNFT Con, but that unfortunately is the market condition as of this second.
Yeah. So you want to be able to move out of the markets into stable. That's personally what I want to do. I always want to be able to do that. So not having a stable coin in Cardano is like very frustrating for me. Like I need that.
Indigo should be coming. Indigo should be coming, I think, this month.
What's that?
Indigo is a synthetic stable coin. They're starting with IUSD. So Indigo are a synthetic asset. So that essentially means people lock assets up against a treasury, and then tokens are minted against that treasury.
Oh, so it's a reserve.
Yeah, essentially it's a reserve.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I like about Indigo is that their capitalization ratio is going to be more than 100%. So they're essentially going to have a capitalization ratio of, I think it's 130. Don't hold me to that. Those numbers can always change before they launch.
Yeah.
And they should be launching this month. So we should actually have our first stable very soon.
Oh my goodness. That is huge.
It's going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's ginormous.
Yeah.
Why isn't more people talking about that? This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
There's a couple of them. We're just waiting to see, right? We don't want to get our hopes up, in my opinion. You know, we've been waiting on one for a good while.
I'm telling you, trading will be so much more profitable when we're able to move into stable coin, and especially in where everyone is assuming to short this market. You know, this whole market's going down, and I think there's more bottom to be had. So I'm trading on. I think what I'm seeing is going to be a relief rally. But if I could move in, I would pour in more money into a Cardano ecosystem if I could get stable on there. I would deploy probably 20%. I love Cardano that much. I'd probably deploy 20% into it, and I'd be sweeping floors too. I mean, rolling and sweeping some floors.
Speaking of, I know you guys have been talked about. I wanted to get Brain. Brain sold out with IDO Pass. Steven, I don't know if you're familiar with Brain and IDO Pass. Something similar to your platform. It's a launch pad. And that's Aaron. I wanted you to, get on a channel with me. That's what I did. Scoop a couple of them up because he does provide the TA and all of that good stuff from TradingView and his Discord. He tries to help educate the community on all the new native tokens coming to Cardano. It's it's called IDO Pass. I think it's like 133. They minted for 100, so they got up high. The floor is not not horrible.
Yeah, IDO Pass is interesting. They give you reflections basically off of I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure how the tokenomics works, but basically hold it and they send you crypto into your wallet. Basically what you do. I know people, I mean, like you know better than I do, Chronic, but they got like hundreds of these things.
So many. And you with launch pads that you can get in early, and it does the research for you to, kind of like give you a little alarm. Yo, look at this coin, look at this coin. In addition to airdropping you Meld, the Society, or VyFi, etc. Whatever, if they had, it's pretty cool. Only on a few, but I know people that own 550. It's wild.
Yeah, Tal's pretty big into that. You did mention it yourself, though. You mentioned VyFi, and I wanted to give Steven a chance to kind of talk about this a little bit. He had recently, maybe I think last month, a drop for white NFTs. And so maybe you could give me a quick summarization of what VyFi is and how you're playing in NFTs, Steven, especially bringing in your background into this project for anyone who doesn't know about it. Maybe like a quick synopsis, 3-minute synopsis, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Really quickly, we're essentially doing a launch pad using NFTs, allowing NFT projects to launch either their tokens or their NFTs through the launch pad. where you stake the NFT and then you earn the token. We're not actually doing research. You need to go to app. Yeah, you already know how to do this. And there it is. Go to the white. If you select view by and select by white, because it's the top option, that'll give you all the ones that are currently available. It's in the top. Yeah, it's just above the gold NFT there where it says sort by. Yeah, perfect. And you can stake to earn tokens, essentially. We're actually releasing... Oh, well, we're actually releasing our V2 vaults very soon. And we're really excited for this because we're going to start... Well, we've already found a few projects, but we're essentially starting to offer the same thing that Mutant offers, but cheaper for the projects to engage and cheaper for the community to engage. So we're building out community NFT staking and community token staking, where different projects are able to start staking their NFTs or start staking their tokens to earn whatever it is that that community wants to, what that project wants to offer. And this is going to allow, and this is going to allow people within that community to start earning off of holding that community's NFTs. Now, what is absolutely fantastic is that we're actually going to be, that's going to be cheaper to engage with than Mutant. So at the moment, Mutant is 7 Cardano for a stake, unstake harvest. We're going to be 3.5 to 4 Cardano, depending on how busy the network is at the time, for a stake, unstake harvest. So we're going to be about half the price for those community NFTs to function. And we also give those communities the option of staking their tokens as well as their NFTs. So we actually work for both of those functions.
Can I summarize that in lizard brain terms here?
Yeah, please.
You buy an NFT, just like how I showed right here, NFT sale. You buy one of these whites, or or you could buy them on secondary or whatever. NFT vaults, they're paired with different partners. You stake them, that you earn back reflections off of them. Every time you stake, it costs money. Every time you unstake, it costs money. In Mutant, it costs, I think you said 7. Here, it's costing you half as much. And so that's kind of the arbitrage you could play with that.
In fact, for these current vaults, the total cost is actually only 1.4 Cardano.
Oh, okay.
So we're probably not going to be moving our whites. We're probably not going to be moving our whites to the V2s just because the whites give a lower payout, and with the lower payout, we want to maintain the lower fee. So that's something that we're doing for the community so that they can still access basically just to make it so you don't need to stack multiple whites. You can do it with just 1 or 2 and still maintain some level of profitability. But for us to be able to do it with the different rarities and all the different things that projects want, we need to have V2s, with these V2s that are more expensive because they're entirely smart contracts and entirely decentralized. That's our token staking. And also, could you go to the lottery for a second? I'm really excited about this lottery. This is the first lottery on all the Cardano, completely done by random number, using random numbers, which we don't have oracles. So it was a lot of work for us to design a system that essentially incorporated random numbers before random numbers were there, being offered to the chain by Oracle. And it costs 10 VyFi for 1 lottery ticket. And you have a chance, if you scroll down, you can see the previous rounds that we've had. And if you show details, it'll show you the results of those rounds. So last round, we had 3 winners that won 705 VyFi each. And of course, every round, the pot rolls, right? So whatever hasn't been won rolls onto the next round.
Is this a Powerball style? Like, will it build up to 2 billion here?
That's what we're trying to do. That's essentially what our intention is, right? We want to try to get this to build up as large as it possibly can. And so far, every lottery that we've held has gotten bigger than the last one. So our first one started at 6,000. Our last one got to 14,000 at its peak. VyFi, that is, of course. So the chance of winning the jackpot is 1 in 64,000, which is actually quite good for a lottery, to be fair.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, I mean, did you guys hear about the lottery in the States here with this 2 billion stuff?
Yeah. I was only just a single number off, but maybe next time.
Right. Get the heck out of here.
No,
Yeah.
I matched a couple of them. I was a couple off on the few that I missed, so a little salty, but that's what it is. Get it one of the days.
Did you still get a decent prize for like, fourth or fifth?
I think so. You earn like $1 million or something. Like that,
If you match all 5 numbers, you get like $1 million in Florida. So I mean, just $1 million.
You'll see Ethan sweeping up the Ape Society floor. That's funny. All right, guys, we're gonna give away a white NFT right here, right now. I just bought one. I'm gonna give it away.
I'll give it away. You keep yours, Aaron.
Oh man.
Yeah, you get to stay yours, Aaron.
If you want, we can both give one away.
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot, my friend, but we'll see if we can give away 2. We'll give away Steven's right now, okay? Because I'm pretty degen about this stuff. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No hints. Chronic, you're up first. And you need to win one for Chrissy here, so go ahead.
The question is, what are you going to draw?
A C? See you later. I'm going to draw. What's hot right now? What's hot right now?
Oh, man.
VyFi.
I'm gonna draw a president. I'm gonna draw me president here. Hold on, wait. Let me. Is this the right number? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Go ahead, Steven.
Oh, it's on me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's do an A.
Hey, you're wrong.
Damn.
I'm gonna do a Y.
Why are you guys so bad at this game?
3.
Let's go with a K.
K. Okay, you're wrong. Okay. Go ahead, Steven.
Let's do an.
Not Trump.
Boring. An E.
Eek. That's so bad.
O. There has to be some type of vowel.
Oh my gosh, you guys are terrible at this game. Mike Thomas says V and an M. Go ahead, chat. What do you guys think? Oh,
chat.
Chronic, what do you think? Go ahead, give me a letter.
I,
my guy.
Wow.
Mike, I'm gonna draw a little tie here.
Word.
There you go. Dude, nothing. You got O, you got L, you got Trump again. Trump is not it. No way.
You.
You are right.
Boom.
No
it
hint.
has to be Trump. It has to be Trump.
It's not Trump.
I'm gonna go
lost. Guys, give it up. If you keep says you guys lost, try and give it up. S. Sucker.
Dang.
I'm gonna draw Trump. Actually, this is what I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna draw Trump. Go ahead, Chronic.
let's go with a T.
T. Dang, this is a hard word for you guys. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, well, everybody in the chat with the T.
Yeah, good call.
Get that out the way. You feel me?
You didn't even give us a hint. Of course, it's a hard word.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a hint. Hold on. Let me see if it's. I don't know if this hint is correct, so I'm not gonna give you a real hint until I've
been on this show like 7-8 times. I've never gotten a blank. Not once.
It's the name. This word is in the name of a project on Cardano, on an NFT project.
Well, that helps, dude.
Yeah. Well,
actually,
it's not
really. Now I think I know the answer. I mean,
it's not Plum. You've definitely seen it before, for sure. You've definitely seen it before.
Can I have a guess?
You can guess. You can guess all you want.
Clays.
No, not Clays.
Right. Well, now Jesus, like it's
Dang, Chronic.
you in front of me. Like
No, Curly got that down there too.
Curly got it. Oh yeah, Curly. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Fluff. Sorry, Green Fingers. See, the second I make a thing, I make a hint. Y'all are too smart.
Yeah, I mean more.
Y'all are too smart.
It's 6 letters, but it's a 3-letter word. No wonder it's so difficult.
Yeah. That's honestly part of the strategy. When I look up like hard words or how do you pick hard words for Hangman, and they say what letters that double over a period of time. So let me see here. Who was that? Which one was that?
That was Curly Knox, I think.
Curly again? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, Resin texted me. He was like, "Yo, bro, I'm not going to be on tonight." I'm like, "Oh, okay, good. You're going to give other people a give other people a try here." Okay, you want a VyFi white NFT from Steven here. If we have time through the end of here, which we got 15 minutes left here. And I want to talk about some bigger stuff here, especially in the Cardano ecosystem. Well, first, let's talk about some DGen stuff. Are there any small plays here? Is there anything that is under 150 that you could recommend? Is the real play sitting on stable? Is the real play buying ADA? Like, if you were to give one piece of advice to the most loved person in your life, they want to get into CNFTs, what would that one piece of advice be? Wow. That's deep, right?
Earn NFT, get NFTs that have utility and give you something in return for holding them.
Okay. So what would you recommend?
VyFi?
Yeah, VyFi. I should have said that one up. Okay. I recommend VyFi, guys. Steven can't recommend that. Do you have anything else you could recommend? But I recommend VyFi.
Ratsdow is a fun one.
Okay, Ratsdow. Okay. I already know Chronic is going to say the apes, stake those apes and stuff like that. But what do you think?
Much though, brother. I mean, for right now, like you said, under 100, 158. I mean, I can rock with Eden 7. I think the floor is like 58, 68.
Eden 7.
It reminds me of nostalgic Zelda. And he just sold out after CNFT. I'm sure you guys met Eden, right?
I didn't get to meet Eden 7. No.
Come on, he's awesome. But anyways, he's his goal is to have floor price at 300 by the new year, and I believe in him. And it's like a 5x. It's an easy entry, and if you can actually earn, it's like a little Zelda game. Like I said, if you're into that stuff, cool. Yeah, like that one, I really like him. And again, like ADA Knots and stuff with Bourbon, they about to rebrand. I always throw them out. That's again under 100. Ugly Bros.
Oh, they're rebranding.
Yeah, yep. Bourbon's gonna rebrand. Yeah, it's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna give it out. Yeah, I'm not. He's gonna have to say, yeah.
Kind of. They actually dropped a little roadmap this week too, or was it last week?
A roadmap. Oh my goodness, that was the whole point. He did not have a roadmap.
Yeah, he's coming out with some stuff. Yeah, he's definitely. Okay. That's what I said. It's a good buy right now, under 100 ADA. So it's like 50 USD.
I think he was dropping the ADA or something, right? I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna change the name for sure. And then also he's also got a roadmap. He came out with it recently. If not, he might finalize it. My bad, Ethan, if I'm wrong. I don't know. I thought he drew up something and he had like a bunch of little steps on it. So
here it is. I think I'm sharing it.
Yeah, so that's a couple of them for the community that's not going to break the bank, but get your feet wet. You know what I mean? And then you can play with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
And again, like that alley catch, just be on the lookout for it. It's going to be the mint. And then like, I believe Keyboard Warriors. I don't know how it's going to be. Chrissy just, I know the Freedom 35's headed on it. And Chrissy got us whitelist. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and check that out. And take a chance on it, just to don't go wild.
Yeah,
there you go.
Good deal. Okay.
Two teams that I've been working with really closely at the moment. In fact, I'm an advisor on both of their projects as of last week. Yeah.
Advisor, sweet.
Get advisor roles. Metadams.
Okay.
Metadams is an upcoming game. Metaverse. They're actually METADAMS. They're actually launching a mobile game on the 21st of December. And they're working with a large French gaming studio to do that, which is very interesting. And the other one that I've been all three of them. Forget the first one. The first one are their shit beavers. The second beavers, they're the characters in game, and then you've got the land. In fact, could you go to our Twitter, to the VyFi Twitter page and scroll down a little? They just finished building our building in their multiverse. So just scroll down a bit. There's an NFT giveaway that we're doing for Kirkstone. Scroll down a bit more. God, was it that long ago now?
This is a good way to show your Twitter.
Yeah, right. There it is. There it is right there. So that's the building that they've built for us inside their metaverse.
Okay.
They're the VyFi towers. I'm really excited about getting the VyFi towers. I'm so excited to do. So one of those little things that you see at the front, that's the actual players in game, to give you an idea of the scale. So I'm super excited to start having team meetings at the top of the VyFi towers. And the other one that I've been working really closely with, which are a really interesting team, are Reach. If you've heard of Reach.
How do you spell it?
REACH, but I'm not sure if that'll give you. Let me.
That's the thing, man. I'm trying to find stuff here. Okay, Reach. Sounds good.
Yeah. Reach are a little bit different. Reach are actually building a system which allows you. They built APIs into Unity so that anyone is able to essentially build their own crypto-powered virtual space. So whether that's going to be an entire land or if that's going to be just a company that wants to have a meeting room. They're working with a resort to put their resort in the metaverse so people can go look at the resort in the metaverse before they actually go to the resort in person. And that's particularly useful for corporate things like corporate holidays, where businesses are purchasing large packages so they can go look at the resort before the actual event takes place.
That's
so
interesting.
Reach are a really interesting project. They've got their land that's already up for sale, and they're just a really interesting project to look at, honestly, because they've got a very solid business model in that you need to pay them subscription services to use their construction tools, and then that subscription service that's paying for their construction tools goes back to the user base and the holders of their token. All right.
Look, okay, so I don't know anything about Reach. That sounds a little interesting, but one thing that I have been on is my thoughts on the metaverse. They're mostly negative, honestly. Like any metaverse project, anything that's any coin, any NFT project that's promising me a metaverse, I take it as like fluff. I take it as, whatever. What do you guys feel similarly? Do you guys feel like oppositionally towards that? What are your thoughts on the metaverse, and especially crypto projects and NFT projects?
I feel that it's just so far away still. I mean, we have all these projects now just every couple of days coming out saying they're getting ready to build this, they're getting ready to build that. But personally, I just feel that it's still so far away and there's so much unproven with it. So it's kind of hard. I mean, maybe if you just decide on one that you are going to take a chance on for the future, but it's really just so far away.
Okay. How about you, Steven Chronic?
Yeah, I mean, I own a lot of metaverse plays, but that was metaverse plays. I don't particularly like NFT projects, being a PFP and then pivoting to a, metaverse just because, like he's saying, metadams, that came out almost a year ago. I remember the Prime Beeves. I didn't mint them, and you minted 3 or 5 and you got a free land or 3 free lands. I mean, this was like way back in like December of last year, so it's been a full year ago. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a couple. I like Virtua. It's a centralized metaverse. It seems like Virtua is going to be good, and like I like Cornucopias, and Pavia seems to be doing big things. You just have to be patient. Like I said, I'm not expecting anything. My hopes of it turn into a sandbox and being $300 to $10,000 like on ETH, like that's past in my opinion. But you can do that with Virtua and Cornucopias and some of the higher mints, but it's just higher risk for higher reward. And I miss them plays, and I'm not going to, FOMO into them at this moment.
Yeah, that's something I really like about you is like you're okay with missing stuff. It's like you're not I don't ever hear you think you're chasing or any of that stuff's Chronic. So yeah, I appreciate that.
So yeah, I've done it a lot, and I'm just saying, like, yeah, sometimes it's just too big of a risk reward. That's what I am. I'm an entry point guy, and that's why
Yeah. Steve, what do you think? I know you're excited about some of these metaverse plays, or at least having some towers in there. What are your thoughts on the metaverse then?
I think the results of Meta as a company very much sum up what my thoughts on the metaverse are. I need to be careful in the way that I describe this because I work for metaverse projects. So
Oh, really? Okay.
I need to be careful what I say. I definitely think that there's a lot of hype, and a lot of that hype is not going to be met. At the same time, the core of any game is the actual game, right? It's the gameplay loop. So if you don't have a gameplay loop that keeps people coming back, then you're not going to have much of a game, and you're not going to have many players, right? That's why I particularly like Reach, because Reach aren't necessarily about building a game. Reach are about building the tools to let others build the game. And regardless of what I think personally about the metaverse, lots of people want to build their own metaverses.
Okay.
Right? And Reach is able to earn income from others building metaverses rather than through the capacity of their own metaverse taking place. Right?
It's cool. I have never heard of this.
Yeah. So what am I looking at here?
You're basically looking at a bunch of different rooms that have been built by the public. Right? So, oh, now you're joining a room. These are spaces in the metaverse that have been built by the public. And anyone, there's a free version of their API, which gives you limited capacity to access, some of the tools on an intro level. But essentially, they're a tool set, and that tool set lets you build these things, right? So the tool set lets you build these metaverse spaces and add functionality to it on top of that, right?
What did I enter? I just picked it because it looked like my wife. So what am I doing here?
You're now playing a game that's been built using their tools.
This looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree with you. It does look phenomenal.
So this is like a so they give you the tools to play this game?
Well, yeah, they give you the tools to play this game, but the beauty of what they're doing, is that it's not only
Yeah, she's in a slave, son. She's freaky.
Who's this Filipino girl?
Yeah, she's gonna whoop your ass, bro. You gotta come. You ain't got a weapon or nothing. Damn.
Wonder how many more.
Oh snap! She got them crazy looking eyes.
That looks like my mom, dude. She looks like
you.
That's the stick she used to beat me with, dude.
Well, she's scary. Look at you. Got that.
I'm scary. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's a plague doctor. You're playing the plague scenario. So yeah, they're essentially building these tools out to allow anyone in the public, both from an institutional level, so they've got institutional grade where you can have multiple spaces, and these spaces can be distributed amongst however the business needs to distribute them, all the way through to hobbyists that just want to build a single space like this one. That looks like Leia now.
Leia? Yeah,
that's Star Wars right there, baby.
Princess Leia.
He's spying on you. The other girl where you at, so she'll chop you up when you ain't looking.
This is wild. This looks great. I mean, there's like some polish that needs to be done for sure, but this is made by somebody.
It's really cool.
Like they just took this is cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, and these tools are actually already available. So they're already working with multiple industries, with multiple businesses, multiple industries. They're working with the resort that I was talking about is an underwater resort based in the Philippines. And the underwater resort based in the Philippines has also got huts that they're selling. And for everyone that purchases one of their beach huts, they're offering an NFT to that individual of their beach hut, so that even when they're not able to go on vacation to visit their beach hut, they can still visit it in the metaverse. So essentially, this company is basically building a replica model of their resort with the homes included that are owned by the people that own the actual homes. And that's just one possible integration of what their software is able to do. Right. This one here is what I consider to be one of the more simplistic integrations, which is building an example of an introductory game. Right. But there are many ways that this can be integrated into the world around us. So overall, I am very excited about this project. I'm very happy that they're bringing me on board as their tokenomics and blockchain advisor. Really, I'm the person that's helping them map this out so that it can become a profitable blockchain system.
Dang, that's
I am fully shocked by how good that looked, and
Me
how like a user used that, and you're now an advisor, and yeah, like you're saying, it could be brought into like real world, like like you if you make like a piece of real estate that you're trying to check out and stuff like that, right? So I was pleasantly surprised there. That was really cool. I mean, like, especially when we were looking at like these Polygon is looking freaking Decentraland, looking ugliness, ugly looking metaverses that just ugly, man. So I was pleasantly surprised there. That was nice. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Check them out, guys.
Yeah. I'm 100%. I'm gonna take a look at it right now. That is our hour here. So I want to thank you guys, Steven. Thank you so much for the giveaway, for everyone in the chat, and everyone in chat here, Chronic and Warden. Thank you guys so much. Do you guys have any parting thoughts into for the chat here as we get going here? Any last words you guys want to leave us with?
Man, just learn from this experience. If you're in the market, this is very valuable experience time, and in this market, in the bear, in this chaotic times, just learn from it. If you get scared, this might not be for you.
Yeah. Guys, make sure you check out Chronic Daily Chronicles. He's got a YouTube channel that him and Chrissy, his wife, drop in a lot of alpha in. And if you are heavy into the CNFT space, you already know this guy. Actually, I think he won a tournament for #1 crypto CNFT influencer on Twitter. So
that was just a silly poll.
Yeah, it's real though. Yeah. So I definitely look at you as that. And be sure to check out VyFi with Steven and everything that he's building, especially all the partnerships he's collecting there too. Thank you, Warden.
Also,
Thank
Curly,
you.
Just quickly, Curly, send your address to Aaron, and Aaron will forward it to me.
Oh, Curly's a multiple-time winner champion in here. So yeah, I'll send that to you. Yeah, Curly, make sure we'll connect on Discord. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much. Thank you. Have a good night, chat, and we'll see you guys in the next stream. Thanks again.
Yeah, take it
Thank
easy.
you.
See you guys.
Oh, and one last thing. Be sure to check out Reach, because that thing looked pretty sweet. See you guys.
Yeah, it was cool, man. See ya.
Yo, no lie, my battery ran out on my mouse. I can't even turn the stream off. Yo, the battery ran out on my mouse. I can't even turn the stream off.
Market problems. Look.
Yo, all right, here we